Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
By now, you know my rule. When a team gets to 10 games over 500, it's time to treat them serious, as in world serious. Unfortunately, the rule also works in reverse, and now that the Diamondbacks are 5 games under 500, they are on a perilous bridge, the one separating a bad season from a bad baseball team, and nobody saw this coming. And what's even more disheartening for Valley sports fans is that the current season was paved with green, gold, and great intentions. The Diamondbacks added significant pieces to their lineup and their pitching staff. They spent more money than anyone dared to imagine, and they still can't escape the yuck and the muck and the what the bleep. Now, some might call this a World Series hangover. We just call it a fact of life for sports fans in the Valley. So cross your fingers and hope the Diamondbacks can seize the moment against the lowly Mets, but hope is also running low. And we've been fooled by potential turning points before. A Diamondbacks team that is 1-4 since that dramatic series win in Los Angeles. And the difference is you can feel the mood start to turn dark because it's no longer early in baseball parlance, and also because it's Arizona, where there is always an opponent too big and too daunting for any of our sports teams to handle. That opponent is called expectations, and it gets us every time. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
Runner at first, 2 down the pitch. Swung on and belted out to right field. McCarthy back at the track, at the wall, it's gone. First pitch of the at-bat, Seager goes deep once again. It is his 13th of the season, and it's a 4-0 lead for Texas.
Yeah, Seager 2 days in a row hitting a home run against the Diamondbacks. 3-run shot the day before. Obviously tortured the Diamondbacks in the World Series last year. Was the big reason why the Rangers won that series over the Diamondbacks. But let's face facts, and this is maybe even painting it a darker shade, if you will. If Corey Seager doesn't hit that home run, the Diamondbacks still lose the game because their offense has been the very definition of impotent. They've avoided 2 shutouts during this stretch with an 8th-inning run and a 9th-inning run. The Sunday game against the Marlins and yesterday against the Rangers. Otherwise, we'd be talking about 3 shutouts in a span of 5 games.
Yeah, that's bad.
The offense has gone absolutely AWOL. And Torey Lovullo, to his credit, he had a pre-scheduled visit to MLB Network today because the Diamondbacks are in New York. And he did a couple of lengthy segments. And we couldn't hear what was going on, but Torey Lovullo looked like a guy who was at his wit's end. He looked like a guy who's not sleeping a whole lot.
I felt so bad. They're like, here, after this terrible stretch of games, let's play Pictionary for 10 minutes. Like, he had already obviously agreed to, like...
And he's such a good-natured human being that he's not going to break a commitment. Now, most managers would. Most managers would go, hey, you know, I know we booked this a few weeks ago when you knew we were coming to New York, but this isn't going to work, man. I gotta go. I gotta go do something. And again, this is one of the things that I really fear as somebody who has really grown to love Torey Lovullo's presence in this sports town. This town is going to turn on him if this team does not get their acts together. Again, I think we all know this has nothing to do with the manager, but we've all seen this story before. We know how this goes. And pretty soon, if this team can't hit and respond by the middle of July, people are going to be yelling at him. Why won't they listen to you? Throw a table, turn over a water cooler. All that stuff's going to happen. We've seen it.
Light something on fire.
Yes.
Destroy
Burn
something
it all
beautiful. The Diamondbacks are 4-17 when opponents score first. They are 1-26 when falling behind by multiple runs. Yesterday was the 24th game this season where they have not hit a home run. They are 4-20 in those games. It's the second worst winning percentage in baseball for teams who in games where they don't hit a home run. They don't win the first game of series. It's been remarkable and remarkable not in a good way. And now brought this up with Derek Hall. You're going to New York. The Mets are a mess. If you don't know what we were talking about with their pool of dysfunction, it came to a head last night.
Someone just got tossed by Ramon de Jesus.
Who was it?
Who knows?
I think it was the third base umpire. Yeah, it was De Jesus.
Yeah. De Jesus has got a short fuse.
And he threw Lopez out of the game. It has just gotten worse.
Whoa.
And Lopez responds by tossing his glove up over the netting and into the crowd.
That's where the Mets are at.
Yeah, that's where the Mets
it's
are
an
at.
unbelievable scene. What moron pitcher picks a fight with a third base umpire over a check swing call? That wasn't even wrong.
I think it was a 9-3 game.
In a 9-3 game.
And then he makes it worse. He throws his glove over the netting, and then makes it worse in the locker room.
I don't regret it. I think I've been looking the worst teammate probably in the whole MLB. So, whatever happened. So, whatever they want to do it, I'll be tomorrow here if they want me. Whatever they want to do. So. I'm gonna keep doing this thing, so I'm healthy on whatever, on whatever to do, I'm ready to come back tomorrow, and if they want me to be here, so I'll be here.
Yeah, about that, I'm gonna be here tomorrow thing. Yeah, you're not.
They want you to be here on.
Yeah.
They've already
and
started
what is
the
it
process.
what is it when athletes lose their mind? Do they have to start undressing on a field? Remember Antonio Brown felt compelled to go off the field shirtless when he lost his ever-loving mind?
Yeah.
The same with this dude last night. Had to
Untuck
untuck his
his shirt,
jersey.
yeah.
What? Well, I wonder what that's
Dropped
about.
his hat, left his hat on the field.
Didn't Paul Newman in Slapshot take his clothes off at the end of?
No, the other guy did. What was the character's name?
Whatever.
The question
anyway.
The guy who was against fighting.
The big issue becomes now, symbolically, the Mets are in a far worse place than the Diamondbacks.
But the Rangers were floundering too, and they got healthy.
This is my point. If the Mets get healthy on the Diamondbacks, this is when people are gonna boom.
And you think we talked about how bad it was? Since 2018, the Diamondbacks and Mets have played 33 games. The D-backs are 8-25 in those 33. In 17 games at Citi Field, they are 2-15.
Wow.
Whatever reason, they get to that ballpark and they fold up.
Yeah, exactly. But now you've got this Jorge Lopez, who there's controversy in New York, by the way, and whether he said he has the worst teammates or he's the worst teammate on the worst team. So, again, it's like, split the difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they asked for clarification, and basically the understanding was he meant both. Well, now he's gone. They've started the process of designating him for assignment.
Of course.
By the way, the Slapshot guy was Ned Braden. Thanks, Will.
You knew he was going to look that up.
I didn't look it up.
Let that stuff go.
I got texted.
Okay.
I didn't look it up.
All right.
Come on. I'm focused on the conversation, Bick. Give me a little bit of credit here. But can they turn it around? If they do turn it around this weekend, it will be not only turning around their current problem, but also exercising those Citi Field demons.
Mm-hmm.
They're not that far from turning it around. Luckily, if they win like 6 out of 7, all of a sudden you're above 500.
Yes, but also a week ago, we were coming off of a series win over the Dodgers where we were all convinced that the turnaround was starting. And they played their ugliest baseball since. It's baseball is a frustrating sport.
How about it?
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.